Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ironworker Gaming Channel, or welcome to the Ironworker Gaming Channel for the very first time. I am Ironworker814, and today we are going to be looking at the Ender exotic bow in PvP. And yes, you heard that right, the Ender bow in the Crucible. And you're probably thinking, Ironworker, have you lost your mind? Well, maybe. But hold your opinions until you hear me out. Before we dive into it, if you would be interested in supporting my channel, you could always hit that like and subscribe button. It is a free and easy way to help this channel grow and to help it reach more people. You could also hit the bell to get notified when my future content drops, if you so choose. So yeah, the Ender. Here's the thing, when I started making this video, this was not going to be a Ender review. It was going to be a general bow review for the Crucible, since we just got the Point of the Stag and Iron Banner, and I thought maybe people would be picking up bows and trying them out a little bit more. So I cycled through a bunch of different bows, and then I picked up the Ender, and I realized we had a major problem, because I could not put the thing down. The utility of this bow is absolutely incredible. But we'll jump into that in just a minute. First, let's take a brief overview of the Ender. Okay, so the stats and perks of the Ender. First off, it has a draw time of 828. You're probably wondering what that means. When you see a draw time on a bow, that is measured in milliseconds. So basically your draw time for this bow is 0.8 seconds. Impact, accuracy, and stability are all very high on the bars there. And the Queen's Wrath exotic perk, while aiming down sights with a fully drawn bow, enemies behind walls are highlighted. Our bowstring is high tension string, greatly increases accuracy, slightly slower draw time, slightly decreases stability. The arrow is anti-taken fletching. While this is doing us absolutely no good in the Crucible, it is a very nice perk if you are fighting taken opponents. Broadhead arrow, piercing arrow that damages the target on entry and exit. One shot can overpenetrate multiple targets. That's why when you let an arrow go with this, you will see 2 damage numbers when striking a single target. If you have not yet acquired the Ender exotic bow, you will need to complete the Shattered Throne dungeon, not once, but twice, to acquire it. Your first time through, you will have to talk to the statue of Sur Ido after the ogre fight, and she will give you an exotic quest. We are not going to go into the full details of this in this video, but once you have transported 3 orbs to the correct statues, there will be 3 illuminated orbs in front of the statue you had originally visited to get your exotic quest, and you will be able to claim the bow from it. Okay, when we're talking about the pros of this bow, let me just share with you the 2 mental ground rules I apply for myself when using a bow in PvP. 1. Fully embrace the bow playstyle. Play passive, use corners, keep your distance, and stick with your team. 2. If your bow is not drawn when you see an enemy, you are probably too late. With that out of the way, let's check in on the damage numbers. And boy, do I have some numbers for you. Remember, this weapon does entry and exit damage. So for your precision values, 30 on the in, 130 on the out for a total of 160 damage on a precision shot. For your body shots, you are 30 in and 70 out for a total of 100 damage done for a body shot. Both of these at base are 2-shot kills. But hey, think about this. If you are standing in an Empowering Rift or a Well of Radiance, or just have some other perk active that'll give you a 20% damage buff, that increases your precision damage to 192, meaning 1 shot with this bow will outright down a Guardian with 6 resilience or less. Now that's pretty sweet, right? But let's look at the rate of fire and time to kill values, because they also need a little bit of explaining. it takes roughly 1 second to draw, release, and re-knock another arrow. So that equals to what, a 2-second time to kill, which kinda sucks, right? But don't look at it like that, because you should always have that first arrow drawn before engaging an enemy. So realistically, the TTK value is more like 1.2 seconds, because we are subtracting the draw time of the initial arrow. For the perks, the over-penetration of the arrows is very, very nice, especially if you are shooting into a larger group of enemies. You can sneak out a double kill with this sometimes in a rare situation, or this can help make your next shot an easy cleanup kill on a Guardian. Okay, we are now on to the star of the show. This is the Queen's Wrath exotic perk. This is a wall hack, and it almost feels like cheating sometimes. There is absolutely no way Bungie could allow this perk to appear on any weapon besides a bow. This perk it's so good, and nobody is using this weapon. When you draw your bow and aim down sights, you will see the red outline of opposing players through walls. You can see their movement. You can see how fast they're moving. You can see what direction they are moving. You can make out what direction they are facing if they're standing still. You will know how many enemies are there, and you will be able to make an educated decision on what to do next. I mean, just think of all that information that is made available to you through this bow, and think about what you could do with it. And if you're a hunter using the Oathkeeper exotic gloves, you can hold this wall hack and have unlimited, uninterrupted X-ray vision for as long as you want. I mean, even if you're not planning on directly engaging the enemy with this bow, think about what you could do. If you're using a shotgun, you can get the drop on the enemy team and know which direction they're facing before you dive in with it. You could aim down sights with it, see an enemy coming around a corner, and perfectly time a sniper headshot when they round corner into your vision. Even think about in trials, if you have a player on your team using this bow, telling you exactly where the opposing team is at and what they are doing at all times. Is that insane? I mean, just think about the utility that this bow is packing, and there is nobody out there using this thing. Maybe we can figure out why the Wish Ender is not getting used by looking at the cons. First off, the Wish Ender, it's still a bow, regardless of all its great perks, and bows can feel a little slow and clunky to players at times. They don't really lend themselves to a run and gun style gameplay that a lot of players prefer to use. You really have to want to use a bow, and you really have to play to its strengths, which can limit your options in a lot of engagements. Also, I found it very easy to become fixated with aiming down sights and getting those wall hacks, kind of forgetting about my immediate surroundings and either getting blindsided or shot in the back. When using the Wish Ender bow, a little more so than other bows because of the longer draw time, you must peek and shoot with this weapon. And you have to make sure when you're peeking and shooting, when you release that arrow, your feet are set. If you are still moving when that arrow leaves the bow, it can carry it off target and you can miss your shot. Using a bow can also require you to bring a short range weapon with you in case you are pushed, which might leave a little hole in your mid-range gameplay. And even though you might feel like you're a sniper when you're using this bow, you are not. You are a bowman, my friend. And a good sniper will repeatedly punish you if you are hanging out in their lanes. Well, if you haven't been able to tell, I am a fan of this weapon. I think the Wish Ender bow is very, very strong and very underrated. I would really like to see what a higher skill player could do with this bow. Because if you've watched any of my videos in the past, I am not a terribly skilled player. I do well because I'm smart and I use my head when I'm in the Crucible. And I do like using bows, but they've always just kind of been for a change of pace. You know, I dabble with them a little bit, just because I think they're neat, okay? But if you're going to be using a bow in the Crucible, I really think this is the best option. And like I just said, I would love to see the plays a high skill player could make with the information that this bow can provide them. So, all that being said, I guess my verdict for this bow is yes, a resounding yes. Go grab your Wish Ender, go forth and shoot the arrows. Hey, congratulations! You have made it to the end of the video. I hope you found the information in here useful, and go ahead and grab your Wish Ender, try it out in the Crucible, let me know what you think. If you appreciate the content and the manner in which I present it, liking and subscribing is the best way for you to show your appreciation. Also, don't forget to comment down below. I love hearing what everyone thinks of the topics I am discussing. If you'd like to come check me out live, I am Ironworker814 on Twitch, generally streaming weekend evenings starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I am also on Twitter if you'd like to DM me at Ironworker814, but the best way to get a hold of me is simply to comment down below. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to view my content. I truly appreciate it, you guys are awesome, and I will catch you on the next one.